What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I have got wonderful news concerning the Digimon trading card game. You see, over the past few hours, a bunch of news has come out regarding those new starter decks we are going to be getting. And there's only one new card that I can tell you what it does. Shout out to the wonderful folks at TCG Review for, frankly, being awesome. But we do have a bunch of information, and some of it is wonderful. Now, these are the starter decks. We're going to start off with the Gallantmon or Jukemon starter deck. We'll have a look at the Gaia Force Vidramon soon. And essentially, it's a bunch we already knew, right? We already knew it was coming out on the 23rd of April, which is about a month from now. And we knew that we were going to be getting a complete deck. This is all fairly standard stuff. We do, however, now have a little bit of a set list. Again, shout out to DTCG Review for the translation. We got a bunch of new cards coming for Digimon, for Agamon, to Guilmon, for Piamon, to Growlmon, for Geogreymon, for Rise Greymon, for Mega Growlmon, to Jukemon or Gallantmon, for Shine Greymon, to Royal Saber, and for Atomic Blast. Now, there isn't really very much we can say about this. We don't know these cards. We're not going to spend much time having a look at them. What we can say is that Guilmon, Growlmon, Jukemon, or Gallantmon, and Royal Saber are new cards coming as 2-ofs. Now, this is very, very standard for Digimon starter decks. You can be happy about it or you can be really upset about it. Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter at this stage. This is Digimon's move going forward. You are going to need to buy 2 of all of the starter decks because they've got exclusive cards that come as 2-ofs. And you can be really upset about this, and that's absolutely fine. My theory is, on the one hand, I don't love buying 2 of each starter deck, though the fact that they put a booster pack in them in the UK, US, Europe, etc. does make me a little bit happier. But also, the fact that they come as 2-ofs mean that there are more cards. So, for instance, in this particular deck, we've got 4 2-ofs. Well, if each of them was a 4-of, there would be 2 fewer new exclusive cards in the box, which means we'd have fewer cards to play with, less deck building options, so I'm not totally against it, but I know there is a strong counter-argument. Now, if we have a look at the reprints, yeah, that's right, for the very first time, starter decks are not all new and exclusive cards. There are actual reprints. We can see that we are getting a full 4 copies of the Monodramon from BT1. Not a really hugely exciting card, but it's a 2 cost to play level 3, so it's a good card that's seen a whole bunch of play. It's nice that it's getting a reprint. We are getting 4 copies of the Dark Tyrannomon from BT1, and again, this isn't a particularly exciting card, but it is a 1 cost to Digivolve level 4, and for that reason it's seen a whole bunch of play. This is a very good thing. We are getting 2 copies of Groundramon, and on the one hand, yes, it's a 2-of, and on the other hand, come on, it's Groundramon. It came around, you know, it's an uncommon card. We've probably all got it by now. For what it's worth, it's weak, but it's a 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve level 5. That's cheap, that's a good thing. Oh yeah, and 4 copies of Gaia Force. In your face, scalpers! In your face! Because the number one reason to scalp the red starter deck, the number one reason this has been so expensive on the secondary market, is because Gaia Force is a phenomenal card. It is an option card that just deletes any Digimon on your opponent's side. And yeah, it's expensive, but as a security card, it does the same thing. And it's basically a 4-of in every red starter deck. And it's a phenomenal card. And everybody loves it. And everybody wants to play it. And it was a 2-of in the red starter deck. Which means if you want a playset of them, you had to buy 2 red starter decks. It is the, and don't get me wrong, there were other good red cards in the red starter deck that aren't being reprinted, but this was number 1. This was the best card in the red starter deck. In your face, everyone that's sitting on these trying to scalp them, because this is going to really hurt the value of the red starter decks moving forward. I mean, the fact that we know they're being reprinted will as well. But now, if you haven't got hold of the red starter deck and you're sitting there thinking, oh man, I just want Gaia Force, okay, fine, these aren't going to be outside of Japan for a little while yet, but a playset is going to be coming in these decks, which means if you do buy 2 of these decks to get the playset of Gallantmon, for instance, you're going to have 2 playsets of Gaia Force, which means the value of Gaia Force is going to crash. It's not just being reprinted, it's being reprinted as a playset. I love this. And I know there's going to be a whole bunch of people with lazy takes going, oh, this just means this deck is going to be scalped as well. Obviously, people are going to be trying to buy this deck and selling it on, but we all know it's coming. We can all prepare in advance. We can all get our pre-orders in. And remember, by the time this comes out, supply should be significantly healthier. We should be fine. I love this. And if anybody needed any proof that Bandai really do care and really are trying to make things better, there is absolutely no chance whatsoever this is not a direct response to players going, hey, Gaia Force is really good, but there's only 2 of them in each of the red starter deck. That's kind of awkward. This is a wonderful, 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 wonderful decision that I could not be any more in favor of. This is absolutely beautiful and wonderful, and I love it. Now, there is actually one new card we can take a look at here. It is the Gallantmon from the deck. And I am looking at both Ensan Gaming here, and I am looking at DTCG Review to make sure that we've got all of our translations pretty spiffing here, because I care. And what we've got here is an 11 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 11,000 power, which is all extremely standard. It is exactly what we would expect from your average, ordinary, run-of-the-mill level 6. It's pretty standard. And what we've got here is, in terms of a skill, it has security attack +1. Every time you attack, you take out an extra security card. This is pretty good. When you attack, you destroy one of your opponent's Digimon with 4,000 or less power. But if you can't do that, if there is no Digimon around with 4,000 power or less, this Digimon gains 3,000 power. So it turns into a 14,000 power Digimon, which is, shall we say, a lot beefier. I like this. This is cool. I don't know how game-breaking this is. I don't know how great this is. I like it. It's a cool card. I like the extra security attack. I like deleting a Digimon when you attack, and if not, getting the extra power. But I don't know how much I love this. I don't know how much of an impact it's going to have. I mean, if we put this side by side with the other Gallantmon, the one that we got in Booster 1.0, the one that's seen, I think it's fair to say, a fair bit of play in the Booster 1.0 meta. What we've got here is, stats-wise, it's more expensive. But when you Digivolve, if you've got a red tamer, you delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 power or less. Obviously, some similarities to the new one we're looking at here. And then when you're attacking, for every 10 cards in your opponent's trash, you trash one of their security cards. So clearly the BT2 Gallantmon is most exciting for the possibility of being able to just wreck their security as you're attacking. And because you're trashing security, there's no security skills or anything like that. I am really torn on this new Gallantmon, because on the one hand, I look at it and I'm like, is it really particularly special? And on the other hand, I look at it and I'm like, you know what? Extra security attack and deleting one of my opponent's little Digimon as I go. And if I can't, then I'm a 14,000 power Digimon with security attack +1. It means the only way I get destroyed by a security Digimon is if I end up in this weird situation where I actually hit a level 7, which is very unlikely. I think it's a really cool card. Maybe it's just the fact that it doesn't do anything particularly special, but certainly the fact that it has extra security attack and it's a standard cost, it's not particularly expensive, and you are deleting Digimon every time you attack. Maybe that will end up being good enough. I'm giving it between 3 and 4 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies. That would be barbaric. Though I'm not completely enamored with it, I do think it's kind of cool and deserves another look. But I want to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.